We have this idea that the beginning of the marriage will be nice and there'll be romance, but then as time goes, it just declines and declines. And the longer you've been married, the worse that marriage feels, and you're just staying together for the children. And I challenge that notion. If you want to just have a marriage that, okay, you stay in it because you have to stay in it, then this is not for you. My channel is not for you. But if you want to have a marriage that thrives, well, you're in the right place, subhanAllah. It is entirely possible for your marriage, for the intimacy and closeness and attraction to not only stay the same, but to rise, to keep rising the longer that you are married. You're going to have to be willing to hold a vision for your life and future that nobody around you in your family can relate to. I remember being young, very young, much younger than I am now, a teenager and in my early 20s. And I really could have used somebody giving me this advice that I'm about to share with you today, inshallah. People say it online, but I don't think they truly always understand exactly what they're saying. And I'm going to tell you to be very delusional in the type of life you want to create for yourself. And hear me out on this. Hear me out on exactly what I mean. If you do not get intentional about the type of marriage you want to have, the type of income you want to earn, the type of relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you want to have, then you will just fall into getting exactly what your parents had. And that may be a great thing. I mean, if your parents have an amazing marriage, they're really happy in their careers, they're stewarding money beautifully, they're tapping into abundance and using money as a tool to create good for their dunya and akhirah, and their akhirah game is on point, their relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is on point. If all of those things are in check and in place, then by all means, do exactly what your parents did. Aim for the same results that they have. You probably don't need this video because if those are the kinds of parents that you were blessed with, subhanAllah, they have a wealth of wisdom. Girl, you should go and listen to them. But that's not always the case, right? As your parents, my parents, all did the absolute best they could with what they knew. And they had successes, they had failures, but overall, they did the best they could. May Allah bless them. May Allah reward them for the sacrifices they made for us in raising us. And at the same time, if you want to have a marriage that looks very different from your parents' marriage, that's something that my clients will tell me sometimes when they come into my programs. They'll say, I came into this program because I want to have a different marriage than what my parents did. My husband says he wants to have a different marriage than what he saw his parents have. And if that's what you want, you're going to have to be willing to hold a vision for your life and future that nobody around you in your family can relate to. The kind of vision that makes other people in your family go, don't be ridiculous. That's not for us. If you're wanting to create the kind of income that can really make a difference in the world, subhanAllah, but your family is in a lot of scarcity and money has always been a difficult thing for them, then you sharing that vision with them is going to trigger them. It's not that they don't want it for you. Of course they want it for you. It's not that they are jealous even. It's that it's triggering for them because they go, well, we couldn't do it. How on earth do you think you're going to do it? Or it's just not possible for people like that. There's a lot of beliefs that they have right now that's part of the reason that they don't have the result that you want to have. What I mean by this is that if you want to have the kind of marriage where the intimacy and the love grows and increases, it doesn't get less. We have this idea, and I believe it's a very Western notion. And because of the way we do marriage now, it has become many people's reality. And it's just accepted that the status quo, that the beginning of the marriage will be nice and there'll be romance and there'll be butterflies and there'll be all these things. But then as time goes, it just declines and declines. And the longer you've been married, the worse that marriage feels, the less you actually care about each other, and you're actually just staying together for the children, or you're staying together because you don't believe in divorce, or you're just seeing that sentence out. And I challenge that notion because I will tell you that it is entirely possible. And I've got the receipts to prove it. It is entirely possible for your marriage to not only for the intimacy and closeness and attraction to not only stay the same, but to rise, to keep rising the longer that you are married. That is possible. But if your parents didn't have that, that means you have to take a step back and live your life radically different to your parents. Do marriage radically different to the way that they did it. And you may say, okay, cool, Zaahida, I'm going to do marriage radically different to my parents. But are you really? Are you going out there and getting the kind of skills that are required to do that? And what I mean by that is that if you want to have a marriage that improves over time, that's not going to happen by accident. That's not going to happen because you said it's going to happen. Just like how if someone grew up in an environment where money was always difficult and you say, well, I want to be the first millionaire in my family. Wonderful, alhamdulillah. But guess what? You've got to take action. You've got to change the way you see the world, the kind of actions that you take. You take the same actions as your parents did and they were not millionaires, unlikely that you're going to achieve that result. If they didn't achieve it, that kind of marriage is not going to just happen because you love the other person. So you think, okay, no, but I'm going to choose differently. I'm going to choose someone different to my mother or someone different to my father, and that way I'll have a different marriage. But guess what? That doesn't work either. Ask me how I know. Like I said, I bring receipts. I facilitated thousands of women from across the globe on every stage of their marriage and seen all the different levels of problems you can have in marriage. And love is not usually the problem. The symptom shows up in love where the love starts to diminish, the love goes away, but that love goes away because the actions and the behaviors and the beliefs and the skills that are needed to keep that love going. Think of the love of like a fire almost, right? If you don't tend to a fire, what happens? It dies down. You can't just say, oh, well, the fire is going now. I'm done. I don't need to do anything. You need to keep stoking that fire. And the wonderful thing is that you keep stoking that fire, you keep feeding that fire. It's easy to maintain. But if you just leave that fire completely and then come back and go, well, what happened to the fire? And now there's just smoke. You have to start all over again. You have to build up that fire all over again. This is how marriage is as well. Because it's burning bright at some point and there's attraction and there's intimacy and you think, oh, things are fine. No problem here. Now I can go do all the other things that I want in my life and this will be fine. That attraction, that closeness fizzles out. It dies down just like that fire does. The longer you leave it, the more work it requires to get it back up again. But if you're there, you're maintaining it, you're fueling it, you're giving it the wood and everything that it needs to keep going, it's going to thrive. It's probably going to get bigger over time, especially if every day you're not just tending to it, but you're adding in a few extra chunks. Your fire is going to get bigger and bigger, give more and more warmth, give more and more fuel. So I want you to think about your marriage like that as well. And again, it's not going to happen by accident. It does take effort. It does take work. I have another video on my channel that you can check out where I specifically go into the type of hard work that's needed to keep a marriage going, alhamdulillah. Or not even to keep it going, but to keep it thriving, because that's what we want, right? If you want to just have a marriage that, okay, you stay in it because you have to stay in it, then this is not for you. My channel is not for you. But if you want to have a marriage that thrives, well, you're in the right place, subhanAllah. Start making it okay for yourself to have delusional ideas of what you want your life to be. And if you actually want to achieve that result, it's going to require you to take action that you didn't see the people around you taking. For me, when I started my business, when I started Live Inspired, and this was well over 10 years ago, subhanAllah, so many people around me advised me against it. They told me, it's not going to work, there's no point, stick to a normal corporate job where you have been successful, because I was successful, alhamdulillah, there. But something in me knew that this was for me. I had a passion about this. And nobody around me really understood because they had never achieved that result before. They had never built a business like Live Inspired. They had never built a business that was based on their passion and their love, subhanAllah, and doing it globally. And so all the advice that they gave me, as well-meaning as it was was based on the results that they had already achieved. And I was trying to create a result that was very different. So I became unrelatable. And here's the part that I wish somebody had told me early on, is that it's okay to be unrelatable to all of them, and them not supporting you in the way that you want them to doesn't mean that you're not going to succeed and doesn't mean anything about you. And it's okay. It's okay for them to say you've changed, because you know what? You will change. And at some points you will look unrecognizable to them. But that's only a bad thing when that change takes you further away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's only a bad thing when that change makes you forget your duties and your responsibilities in your ibadah. Once I had a client who was doing relatively well in her business and she was struggling with something, and she reached out to me. And then she shared with me that she was not performing her salah. She was so busy with all these projects that she had taken on that were bringing in some income, but she wasn't reading her salah. And I said to her, well, you should close your business down. If you're not going to read your salah, you should close your business down, because if you only have time for one or the other, salah or your business, salah takes priority. That just gave her such a wake-up call, and she rectified that. Alhamdulillah, now she's thriving in the business and she's performing her salah. My point is that when people say you've changed, so what? If that change is taking you closer to that goal, cool. If that change is not taking you away from your responsibility to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, cool. Sometimes when people say you've changed, it's also about them and the fact that they're watching you change and they're in the same place they always were, and they see you moving onward and upward, and it's triggering for them, and that's going to happen. This is why for me that was very important, was investing with mentors and investing to be in rooms and around other women, subhanAllah, who were doing big things with their life and achieving big results. And not only did that neurologically normalize for me that these things are possible, but it also made it safer for me, because now I had a community of people, because sometimes the people who are closest to you, they just don't get it. And if you need them to get it, you're going to feel very lonely. So having those other people around that go, hey, you know what? It's cool. Like, it's possible. You can do these things. It's okay to be unrelatable to the people who thought that they knew you best. Because achieving that delusional thing that you're setting out to do, that amazing marriage or that amazing business, it is going to change you a lot. There is no way that you can achieve that result without changing a lot. So when they say you've changed, consider that as success, that yes, I have changed, alhamdulillah, good. How can you stay the same and achieve something so different? It's just not possible. There's nothing about life that is unchanging. There's nothing that is not in flux. Your body will change, your thoughts will change, your ideologies will change, your identity will shift. Life is constantly in motion, subhanAllah, from the time you are born to the time that your Lord calls you back to Him. May Allah be pleased with us when He does call us back. There will be nothing but change in your life. And either way, you're going to experience change. So why not be intentional in moving towards the kind of change that you desire? Be delusional in the results you want to create, and be prepared to take the actions required and endure the growth and the challenges on that path, on that journey to getting there, to achieving it, subhanAllah. Okay, I'm sending you so much love and du'as. If you found this video helpful, do check out some of my other videos that I think you're really going to love. Marriage, important insights, all of that. I will see you next time.